So hi everyone, how you doing, man? It's your boy Xabendlini, and it's my navigator, Elzer. His name is Elzer, so it's my navigator. So yeah, man, I'm pretty much gonna be going over and seeing something that I was working on called web apps. So it's pretty much like a project that I was doing where I was pretty much creating an app. So yeah, that's the project I was working on, man. So yeah, let me just like so that's something that I have to do. It's my project, and yeah. So I'm just gonna like go over the summary. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna install Django, create a project, add an app, define modules, run migrations, and use the admin side in Django shell to manage data. So URLs, views, and templates. So create URLs, functions, and templates using template inheritance for consistency. Right, building forms so users could add, edit topics and entries, implemented authentication, login, log out, and registration using user creation form, restricted access with login required, assigned data to use via foreign keys, and should users only see their own data with filters. Deployed the product to platform.sh using Git. Okay, I'm not gonna do that because that actually has costs, included as well. So I'm not gonna do that, man. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. So yeah, so let's get to this, man. Let's get to this. Okay, so I'm gonna create like an empty, folder called web apps, and within that, I'm gonna allocate like a Django admin start app project called learning logs. So that's what I'm gonna allocate. Then within that, I'm gonna create something, so I'm gonna create something, called learning logs. So that's pretty much your start app, right? App for your project learning logs. So that's gonna be created. Within that, what's gonna happen is all the properties that I'm gonna need for my project is gonna be stored there. Then what else I'm going to be doing is I am going to create a virtual environment called LL underscore project. So that's what I'm going to create as well. So what the command I'm going to use is a Python space dash mvenv project. So that's what I'm going to use, and that's going to pretty much create like a project form. That's what's going to create. So that's what I'm gonna use. And then I'm also gonna create a Django admin site. So I'll be able to access my Django admin project and everything in between, everything I need for it. So that's what I'm gonna do. So as you can see here, yeah, that's what I'm gonna make use of. So let's get to this. Let's get it cracking. Let me actually, and then I'm also gonna create accounts as well. This is another start app that I created called accounts. So it's gonna store everything that I've got, all the accounts that I made, and etc. So like every time I register like a new account, I'm gonna every time I register or create a new account, I'll be able to access it. So let's get to this and let's go. Oh snap, man. Oh snap, man. Damn that, bro. My server's off. So okay, so whilst that's running, so I try to like use an app but called Platform.sh but needed money. So I just said no to that, you know what I mean? So yeah, I said no to that. So in so he- so I was supposed to use routes and etc. but I just said no. So I got accounts. So this is my cache data. So everything that I ran already gets cached here. So then I got my migrations, then I got my templates. So what my template HTML section does is it pretty much sets up the whole framework for my for everything that you can see on my front end. That's what it does. So what HTML does, it sets up everything that you can see on the front end to make sure that looks nice, to make sure that everything looks like bourgeoisie and beautiful and etc. So that's what I'm gonna do. So I added my blog page headers in blog page header, right? So loading logs based at HTML, load Django understrap bootstraps. Okay. So all of that, right? It's gonna so you got your URL accounts that log in and bootstrap form, right? Bootstrap button and stuff like that. Form that in block content. So that's like log in everything. Mm, yeah. So you got extends, learning logs, slant base at HTML. Okay, so yeah, so extends learning logs, block content register, form action, button type, form. So that's pretty much like the framework for everything that you got on your front end, man. That's pretty much everything that you need, right? So that's what you've got there. You admin, so from Django contributions, so environments actually got a library of everything that stores all the apps that stores like pip, Django and stuff like that. So you can be able and all your scripts too, so you be able to access it on your project at the drop of a dime as long as you switch on your virtual environment. So from Django contribution from your library, right? You'll be able to import admin and then you can register your modules here, right? Okay, so then you got your app, test URLs, contribute URLs, register page, views, import render, redirect, login, Django shortcuts, render, redirect, and then use creation form. And then this is actually like your function along with the parameter register a new user. So you got if else statement. So if request that method is not equal to post, display blank registration form, form equal to user creation form, else process completed form, uh, right? Form user creation form data equals request dot post. If statement form is valid, new user equals form dot save, log in. The user in and then redirect to home page, login request slash new underscore user return redirect, then it logs index, return render request registration register.html context. So yeah, that's for like your everything for your accounts when you register everything. And then you got your migrations. So all the stuff that you migrate using like your Django shells and etc. You migrate your learning logs from your Django, so you migrate everything. So admin site topic, admin site register entry, apps, app configuration, learner logs, right? Forms, class topic form, forms dot model form, class entry form, forms dot model form. So these are like your topic forms, right? And then you got your modules, right? So this for topic and entry. So these are your modules. Topic the user is learning about, return string representation of the module, something specific to learn about a topic, your tests, import test case, URL. So these are for your URL paths for new topic, new entry, edit entry, and then your views. So your views pretty much have if statements that view if the required emails, right, have been hashed in. So it pretty much shows all the topics, shows a single topic and all its entries and etc. So an email is required, and it pretty much reviews all your topics, and the new topics got if else statements as well. So if requested method is not equal operator post no dot submitted create a blank form topic form that, and then yeah. So if our statements here, then it's going to return render requests. So that's what, so every time if for if else statement you return a statement that returns like a strict equal operator, your return is going to be a request learner logs. So it's pretty much going to be a request, right? Right, so you got like an environment as well, so that's an environment that you create, configures everything, right? Like spoken before, configures everything. So everything that you need, so it's asgi.py, wsgi dot py, and settings dot py, right? All of that, so these pretty much set the blueprints, right, for your server. This for like your server, right? So settings dot py as well. So what happens here is, all of this creates settings. This pretty much, stores your templates, middleware security, you contribute your apps as well. So this pretty much stores everything. Your hosts, allowed hosts, debugs equals true, right? Right, then your URLs, pretty much stores your path. So from Django.contribute, input admin from Django.urls, input path and include, then yeah. And then you got manage.py. What manage.py does is it's pretty much like runs administrative tasks, right? So just for 11 project that settings, it pretty much runs administration for your settings, py in the ll underscore project. So that's what it does. So it pretty much runs everything from there. Just creates an overview, right? That's what, and also helps you run everything on the terminal. So everything that you've got on your settings, right? Everything that you've got in your settings, like py ll underscore project, it runs on your terminal via manage.py. Hence the command python manage.py run server. hence that command, because from like your manager.py, you're running everything on your settings like your else paths and your middleware security settings, you're running them there, and then yeah, that's what's happening. Then everything that you see here gets frozen for your pip freeze, so everything that you've got from your library gets transported, gets taken out or cloned onto your actual like web app. So that's what happens. Everything on your web app gets cloned. Everything from your library in your virtual environment gets cloned here. Then yeah, as you can see here, you got requirements.txt, requirements remote.txt, db, out, and etc. So you pretty much got everything. So let me go to my admin. So go to my admin here, right? Admin. So as you can see here for my admin, got got everything. So let's say for example I go to my topics, right? I got computer science, right? Got entries, computer science. Let's say for example I want to add like an entry. So let's say computer science, right? So that's what I'm doing right now, right? So add that, save, and then yeah, I got that. So those are my interest groups. But groups uses. So that's actually my user, right? So that's my user there. It's my user, right? Okay. And let's say for example I wanna like so that's what I've got. So for my topics, I can change anything that I want here. Change description, etc. Change it. Same thing. So as you can see, this makes use of the URLs that I've actually added, URL patterns that I've added on URLs.py for my LL underscore project section. So yeah, that's what I've got. Home, and etc. So that's what I've got, right? So I got computer science and etc. groups and everything. And then I'll go to my local host. So that was when I was in my admin. Go to my local host. As you can see on my Bootstrap, actually on my the Bootstrap actually made everything look better for my HTML. On my front end, the structure that HTML set up, actually made everything look better there. So yeah, so I got learning logs, topics, right? So these are the topics that I've got. I can actually register another username, password, right? Username. Let's say, for example, I add like register another username. I go to my entry, edit entry, right? Save changes. So as you can see here, everything like my HTML patterns, my for settings, all the stuff that I've added, like my installed apps and stuff, along with my installed patterns and stuff, you know, along with my learning logs, like the modules that I've got here. and the views that I've got here as well. Everything just correlates with one another to be in sync with one another. So that's what happens there. And then I exit, right? So obviously I've got entries here. So you can see the times that I've put entries. So as you can see here, you got the times in which I added everything, but I added time there. You know, I added like a time function as well. You know what I mean? To make sure that it returns like a time. It actually requests time. So yeah, that's what I did. And then obviously if I want to edit the entry, I can edit it, then save the changes, and then yeah, in the opening phase, and then add new entry, topic rocket climbing, a new entry. I can add a new one there. There's a new ones of it all, and then yeah. So you can see the times in which I added everything, right? So chess, 20th of August, and add a new topic for 1, 2, and then yeah. And let's say for example I add the Python Django, then yeah, added Python Django, add a new entry. Yeah. Okay, and then add entry for Python Django. And as you can see, I added a new entry. So as you can see, I pretty much, logged in as ll underscore admin along with my code, and yeah, let me log out. So let me log in ll underscore admin 123. I'm logged in now. Hello ll admin. Then let me register a username. It registers Kabelo 385, and then three. Let me do 321. Cubs at oh 06, and then Cubs at oh 06. Register. Then yeah, I logged in as Kabelo 385, and then yeah, got my topics. No topics yet. Let me log out, log in. Log in, then Tozi at 73. Password, and then Tozi, and then yeah. This one's got topics though. As you can see, this is the beautified, the more aesthetically pleasing version Django. This is like the beta version of Django. So that's what I've got here, man. Yeah. So thank you very much. Take care, God bless, and I'll see you next time. Thanks. End of the video. Thanks.